Are we really doing this again? I had a lot of hope in the Canucks after that first game, and yes, it was a tired Flames team, but I still thought they played really well, and they played well in the preseason, and I thought that would carry over. I thought there was more likelihood of it carrying over than not, because I thought this was a good team. And I want to preface this by saying it is early, and they can easily turn it around. And now with that being said, I'm going to overreact. Canucks found themselves in a Monday night affair against the St. Louis Blues a couple days after losing a terrible contest to the Oilers, and the hope was that they would turn it around, play a little bit better in this game than they played in that Edmonton game where they were dominated all throughout. But just 9 minutes in, it already wasn't looking good. The puck was shot around the boards, Jimmy Snuggerud found himself wide open with the puck in front of the net eventually. Marcus Pettersson was late picking him up, Snuggerud buried it because he has a very nice shot, and the Blues were already up 1-0 9 minutes in. The rest of the first period, basically nothing happened, but then early in the second period, Jordan Kyrou found himself on a breakaway. Hughes did well to catch up to him and angle him off, but nobody picked up the trailing Braden Shen. Drew O'Connor was unable to get enough of his stick on the attempted pass. It still got through to Shen anyway, who picked his spot, and it was 2-0 for the Blues. But thankfully, Kiefer Sherwood is a player on this team. And that fourth line was great today. I'll get into it a lot more. In this specific instance, Aatu Räty made a great play to read the play coming up the ice from the Blues, kept the puck in the zone, got it deep. Baines in the corner sent it to the middle, where Räty was there again, to force it to Kiefer Sherwood, who poked it home with his backhand, made it a one-goal game again. Though it didn't take long after that for the Blues to find themselves on the power play, and the Canucks' penalty kill had been very good in the year up to this point. On this specific one, Marcus Pettersson made a good play to tie up Robert Thomas behind the net, giving Myers the puck. So what does Myers choose to do with it? Give it to the other team. Buchnevich stole it from him, brought it right out in front, and found Snuggerud for his second goal of the game. And very quickly, it was a 2-goal game again. But a couple minutes later, while the Blues were on another power play, Sherwood saw the puck unattended at center ice, realized he had a lot more speed than the Blues defender, skated it his ass off to get to it, and dangled past Jordan Binnington, put Binnington's jockstrap in the rafters, and made it a 3-2 game. But again, that one-goal game did not last very long. Quinn Hughes jumped up in the play in the offensive zone, drove the puck to the net, got a shot off, but it didn't go in. The Blues quickly turned the puck the other way, and nobody decided to cover for Quinn Hughes at the blue line, so the Blues had an odd man rush the other way. Texier found a trailing Nathan Walker, who one-timed past Lankinen to make it 4-2. Every time the Canucks took one step forward, they also made sure to take one step back. And then in the third period, pretty much nothing happened. They didn't really turn on the heat a whole lot. I mean, they had some chances, but nothing all that good. And St. Louis was able to put away an empty netter to make it a 5-2 game. That's where we ended, 5-2. I'll start with the positives again, and the positives in this game are pretty much only the fourth line. That fourth line of Baines, Räty, and Sherwood, while contributing the 2 goals in the game, also contributed a lot of good shifts, a lot of offensive zone time, more than any of the other lines. Sherwood was the MVP of this game for the Canucks, obviously, with the 2 goals, but I also want to shout out Aatu Räty, who I thought had a very good game, his best game of the season, including preseason so far. I thought he was really good on the forecheck, he was reading plays well, he was using his hockey IQ, which I've been raving about, and he really played a game that's up to the expectations that I have for him. He hadn't been incredibly good in the first 2 games of the season. He was fine enough, but this is where he really came alive, had a great game, and the rest of the team just let this line down. Baines wasn't anything all that special, but he did enough. He got an assist on that goal by making a good play to the middle, and he kept up with this line. Definitely didn't slow them down or anything, so I thought he was pretty good today too. That whole fourth line were our 3 best players in the game, and that's got to be embarrassing for the rest of the lineup. Another player who I thought was at least fine today was Jake DeBrusk. I mean, I thought he was making good plays on the forecheck. He seemed to have a lot of energy about him, and just kind of was let down by the rest of his line. And then Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, that's why I'm saying Elias. He was fine today too. I thought he was probably the most steady defenseman. He was making good plays to get the puck out of the zone. He wasn't noticeably making any bad plays, and I thought he played a pretty solid game. And now with the positives out of the way, let's look at the negatives. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll start with the rest of the defense besides Pettersson. I mean, starting with Hughes, he has been disappointing this year so far. He hasn't really been that superstar, dominant player that we've seen from him recently. It's only been 3 games, and he's going to be fine. He's going to be very good. But I'm not used to seeing this slow start from him, and it's kind of concerning, because we can't win games if he plays like this. We can be not as reliant on Hughes as we have been in the past, but we still have to rely on him to do something. He's our best defenseman. He's our best player. He's one of the best players in the league. He needs to not be playing like this. He's not making the same passes as he once was. I feel like his defense has taken a step back so far this season. He just doesn't look as confident in either zone right now. His skating still looks fine, but what he's doing with his stick isn't what we've noticed from him in the past couple of years. And he finished today as a -3. He likes to take plus-minus into account, so I'll take it into account for him. It wasn't really his fault that he was a -3 because nobody covered for him at the blue line on the one play, and then the other one was an empty netter. But he was still a -3. He didn't really add a whole lot of positives to this game for us. And speaking of nobody covering him at the blue line, how? Why did nobody cover for him at the blue line? Like, Quinn Hughes always has the opportunity to jump up in the play, wants to generate offense a lot of the time. And last year, there was no problem with that. Like, if a forward saw Quinn Hughes with the puck skating up, they would, like, no-brainer, go and cover him at the blue line. But they didn't today, and I knew that was going to cost them, too, when I saw the odd man rush. It doesn't really help that Evander Kane was the last forward back. The rest of the defense wasn't very good. I mean, Myers made that really bad play, shorthanded. Marcus Pettersson lost his man in front on the first goal. They all made some pretty bad plays. Mancini didn't look as good as he played in the preseason. Hronek wasn't very good either. So the defense was quite a letdown today, but the offense was also a letdown. In that top 9 besides DeBrusk, nobody stood out to me at all in a good way. And there were 2 players who I specifically didn't like. I'll start with Evander Kane again. I don't know if I really have a whole lot more to say about him than I did last game. He just can't do anything with his stick. Anytime he has to do something in the offensive zone, he's losing the puck. He's giving them the puck. He can't make a pass. He can't take a pass. He can't shoot it on net, apparently. And then in the defensive zone, it's even worse. Like, it might as well be a power play for the other team when he's out there because he is so slow. He doesn't play defense. It's been very frustrating to watch Evander Kane so far, and it has only been 3 games, but they have been 3 very bad games. And I would give him more lenience on those, like I'm giving some of the other players who haven't been up to par yet. But this is exactly what I expected from him. And we can't have this Evander Kane, because if we have this Evander Kane, we're going to lose. He's basically playing for the other teams right now. He's not adding any sort of good stuff to our lineup right now at all. I know some people are like, oh, but he's so physical, he's hitting. But you need a little bit more than that. I mean, look at Kiefer Sherwood. He's hitting every single game more than Evander Kane, and he's still adding offense. He's our goal leader so far. He has 3 goals in 3 games. Physicality isn't everything. And speaking of Evander Kane, he's making over $5 million, while on the other end of the ice, Pius Suter is making $4 million. And I know Pius Suter doesn't have that grit to his game, but you know what he does have? A very good defensive game. The other one on forward that I didn't quite like today was, no, he's still not doing anything. I really wanted last year to be a statistical anomaly in Elias Pettersson's career. But through 3 games, he has 0 goals and 1 assist and has looked bad. And the one thing that really, really worried me was on that first goal. He had the puck down low in the corner, tried to make a pass to the blue line, but flubbed it, gave it to the other team, and that started the rush that eventually led to the goal. And it happens, the puck will fly off your stick accidentally. You won't get everything you want on a pass sometimes, I get that. But the thing that really irked me about it was the fact that instead of just skating back, getting over it, you can see Pettersson put his head down and be frustrated with himself and lose that confidence. And we've seen what an unconfident Elias Pettersson looks like. It's not good. It's really bad. And I don't like him having that kind of mentality this early in the season already. I don't want to see that from him. I want him to keep his head up. I want him to have short-term memory and just make better plays next time. And he did not do that today. He took a penalty. He made that bad play. He wasn't adding anything in the offensive zone. There was the time where Binnington was caught out of his net and Pettersson had the puck in the slot. And I know there was a defenseman there, but you have to think there's some way to get it through that defenseman onto the empty net instead of just passing it. But he has no confidence already 3 games into the season. That is not a good sign. And then the rest of the offense was pretty much useless. I mean, Hedl didn't do anything again, and Hedl had a good first game, but the past 2 games, nothing. Garland was fine. He had some chances. I thought he was okay. Besser was nothing. Coots, I haven't mentioned at any point until right now in these recaps because he hasn't been adding anything. And I I'm not mad at Coots. It's fine. Don't come after me. I'm not coming after Coots. But I don't think he's going to make it past the 9 games if he's playing like this. He's not, like, particularly bad or anything. He's just not doing enough to keep himself in an NHL lineup, I think. Also, Drew O'Connor's there. I have nothing to say, but I figured I should mention Drew O'Connor, I guess. And then in net today, we had Kevin Lankinen, and I wouldn't blame him for this game or anything, but it's kind of apparent to me that we aren't going to get any stolen wins from Kevin Lankinen this season. I don't expect him to be able to do that, and I thought he made some good saves today. I thought maybe he could have bailed us out one time or something, but it's obviously not his fault. I wouldn't blame him. It was definitely the right move to start him today, because you can't overwork Thatcher Demko. In that last game against Edmonton, he faced a lot of shots. So not Lankinen's fault or anything. He wasn't, like, good, but he wasn't terrible. And as a backup goalie, like, I guess sometimes that's all you can ask for. But it was a bad game by them again, and I know it's early. Again, it's early. There's 79 games left in the season, and you're going to lose games. I don't expect them to go 82-0. That's not what I'm saying at all. They're going to lose games. But the way they've lost these 2 games, it's been bad. Like, you can lose games but still play well and just lose because, you know, sometimes you just lose. But they've lost these because they've played bad. And the stars aren't coming alive yet. They look tired. It's so weird. Like, they looked all so good in preseason. I know that's preseason, but it looks like a fully different team now. Hughes needs to come alive fast. I know he's going to come alive at some point, but it better be very soon. Pettersson needs to do anything. Kane needs to stop being Kane. We can still be fine, but I don't like the way these last 2 games have been played. They look sloppy. They look like they're down on themselves. We need to go back to how we played against Calgary. And I know we're not going to be facing a tired team every single game, but we still played that game very well. At least the penalty kill's still good. I know they gave up a shorty today, but they still did fine. I mean, the penalty kill's good. Power play still doesn't have a goal, but at least Evander Kane's off that first unit. I don't know why it's Hedel. I don't understand how you can have Jonathan Lekkerimäki's shot and not think to put him on the first power play unit. Feed him one-timers. Just let him rip it. Why are we not doing that? I know that sounds like a very simple solution, and some things take more complex solutions than that. But letting the guy with a good shot just fucking hit a few? Why not? Anyway, the Canucks are now 1-2, and they go into Dallas on Thursday, so that's not great. Starting the season 1-3 would be pretty terrible, and I know it's a hole that you can definitely dig yourselves out of, but it's also a hole that can only get deeper and deeper also. So hopefully they can pull one out of the bag. I mean, the last time we played a game in Dallas, it was pretty fun. We're looking like we're in trouble a little bit if we lose that game. That's not a confident start at all, and we've needed to have confident starts, good starts the year, to have any success down the road. We need to win. We just need to win now. I don't care that it's early. I want wins now. You need to stack them up now, because when we're in April and we're 2 points out of the playoffs and we miss and the season's over, you think back to games where they played like this, where they could have been stacking up points in October. They all count the same. They need to be winning now. I'm like seriously going to tweak if this is the Elias Pettersson that we get from now on. It's $11.6 million. It's $11.6 million worth of player. I do still believe in him. It's early. I keep saying it's early because I want you guys to know I'm not just dooming. I just don't like what I've seen so far. I'm going to talk about it. They can very easily turn this around. I want to think they will turn this around. At least Kiefer Sherwood's still good. That'll do it for me. What do you think of the Canucks so far? Do you think we're screwed? Do you think we're going to be okay? Let me know. Why is Evander Kane on this team?